Welcome to another Inspirational Entrepreneur Spotlight interview. Hi, I'm Virginia Parsons, your host, and it is my passion to shine the spotlight on business owners' expertise. Today, I'm continuing a series of interviews with a group of co-authors from a powerful new book called Teach Your Expertise, which has just been released on Amazon. The authors will be sharing their stories and how they discovered the power of teaching what they know by creating an online course. Now, today's guest is Ahulani McAdam, founder of Shining Our Light on Earth. She is a master psychic energy healer, artist, and spiritual mentor. She has been in practice with clients, leading groups and workshops in New York City and California for almost 40 years. She is passionate about women's empowerment and supporting the emergence of the feminine on Earth. From suburban good girl to activist, lawyer, adventurer, painter, and grandmother, her own life has been an embodiment of these goals. Ahulani is at work on her soon-to-be published book, Conversations with Cancer: What Love Has to Do with It. She currently lives in Northern California and on Zoom. Welcome, Ahulani.
Hi, Virginia. Thank you so much for having me. What a fabulous introduction. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm thrilled to have you, Ahulani. I have just found that this series of interviewing these amazing business owners who have learned how to leverage their expertise into online courses is just so powerful. And I'm thrilled to have you here joining us to really share your journey and how really this evolved for you. I know that viewers are interested in the journey and even challenges that you might have been going through as you put together your own online course. Can you give us a little background on that?
Oh, yes. It feels like the whole thing, I've got to say, has been a challenge because the biggest thing is like some of your viewers, I'm an intuitive healer and I get these downloads and I know what to do in the moment. And the most incredible difficulty that I had was taking that information from the moment and putting it into something concrete that was repeatable and ongoing. I was really challenged by that.
All right. I think that's really a good point to be made because you kind of do it from an intuitive download perspective, which is different than a lot of other people. So how did you overcome that?
Well, that was really my struggle. What I did was I made myself wrong. That was the first thing I did was I didn't know that what I had in myself would work on an online program. So I tried to make it look like other people's. And I even, I'm a shaman. So here I am shamanically doing stuff and I'm trying to create a red, white, and blue PowerPoint slide. So,
Understood.
yeah, that's how I began. And then what I learned from my coaches really was that that I'm enough as I am and that it's possible to do an online program however you are, whoever you are, whatever moves you, whatever your particular niche in this world is, you can do it online. And that was completely mind-blowing to me because I had to break free of my preconceived ideas about what an online program was.
What a wonderful revelation for you because you are not alone in having that understanding or that thought form holding you back.
You know, and I think even deeper, Virginia, was the idea that I think a lot of people share in one way or another that I'm not enough. Somehow I'm not enough. I don't know enough. I don't have enough experience. I don't want to be seen. We all have things that keep us from moving in the direction that we want to move. And so the underlying all of this is, I thought, well, my experience, I'm going to find a way to make my experience work for other people.
Yeah. And Ahulani, 40 years of experience. Your depth of knowledge and wisdom is deep and rich. And so even for you, with your intuitive knowing and your healer background and your ability to psychically download information, what an experience for you to say, I was having trouble making the shift into something that was more tangible and concrete than what I've been doing all these years. So the message is really, really valuable to others. You're right. Everybody has within them the experience to be able to teach and share what they know, what their life experience has been. So I'm so glad that you went ahead and struggled through it to produce something that would be of value to other people, because there's so many other people looking for that information and also wanting to understand, really, I have value? Really? Someone might want to hear from me? Really? Someone might want to learn from me? Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about your course itself and what people can expect to experience if they were to take advantage of your course.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this because it blew me away, along with my people that I started out with. I ended up doing a course on the inner critic, on healing your inner critic. And because I'm an energy healer and because I understand how thought works and sabotages us or builds us up, we were able to actually change these inner mean, nasty voices that tell us we're not enough, who do we think we are, we need to conform, we can't be seen, all of that stuff, to change those voices into our biggest fans, like our true voices inside now become the voices that cheer us on. And that's the promise of my program. The promise of my program is that you will transform everything that's stopping you in your head, from your culture, your family, whatever, wherever you've got those ideas. Those will be transformed into the most loving, incredible, brilliant, supportive voices that you can possibly imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, really pause and just kind of everyone embrace this. Don't we all have an inner critic? Isn't it sometimes what you just like to slap right off your shoulder and get off your back, when all you really want to do is be yourself and make a contribution? So, bravo, Ahulani, for working through your own challenges and putting this out there for the world to experience. And so for those of you who have had challenges with your inner critic, you now know where to go. And I just want to bring back up the thumbnail about your chapter, Ahulani, because this is really what you were writing about in your chapter in the Teach Your Expertise book, and it's taking on your inner critic.
Yep.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
So tell us a little bit more about a tip that you left for people in the chapter. Give them a little tease on what they can expect if they go there and read the book.
Wow. I think that the real tip actually is what you said, Virginia, is that we are enough. And the underlying thing is that if you take your life and what you're going through, all the goodness and all the resources, everything you need is right there in that moment of saying, I can't do it, I won't do it, it's not for me, I'm not, all of that, right in that moment is so much energy and so much love, and life loves you. It brought you to that moment, and it will support you taking the next step. So, stick with it, I guess, is my biggest tip. Stay in there, hang in there, and ask for help.
Well, those are very important tips, and there's actually a couple there that you've bundled together. Stick to it, hang with it, but you also said ask for help.
Absolutely.
My gosh, it's so important to give yourself permission to do that. You don't have to know everything in order to get the word out about what you do know. And that's why it's so helpful to have mentors and support people and coaches who can help you get through being stuck, or, as you say, diminishing your worth, which your own inner critic certainly seems to be so darn good at doing.
Yeah.
So I like that you gave really 2 tips for everyone.
Thanks. I think the thing that I really would like people to think about is, I don't know if men have this stuff going on for them. They seem not to, but I don't really know. They have different voices. But I would really like people to think about what it is you want to bring to the world. And these are the voices that stop us, stop you. We women must move forward. We must give our gifts. This is really the time for it. And that's why I started this program. And I'm sure it's why you're doing your program too. And whatever your desires are, is because we want to make this world a better place. And if we look at all of the women, all the geniuses around the world who have so many gifts and so much to give, so much wisdom and brilliance, who are holding back, who are waiting to be good enough, it's really tragic, and we can't afford it. We just can't afford it.
Oh, so. Thank you for sharing that as well. And, I'm going to add something else. When you started to do the work that you did, I know it evolved over the years, but we're talking 40 years of experience here. And even 20 years ago, there were not the platforms or the technology available for somebody to share their expertise, their life experience, or their brilliance. So I also want to do a kudos for you for stepping forward into what is a very unfamiliar territory and how to work with technology based on the fact that that has nothing to do with what you've been doing for 40 years. And the reason I want to bring this up is because I want other people to know, just because you've been doing what you've been doing a long, long time and you're not familiar with some of these opportunities to get your message out there, it's there for you. And you should not hesitate, no matter what your age, no matter where you are in your life stage, to realize that what you can teach and what you can offer can provide so much value for somebody else, can truly transform someone else's lives because of your rich lifelong experience. So I just want to first of all commend you, Ahulani, and encourage other people out there who think maybe it's too late for them. It's not, is it, Ahulani?
It's not, and I've got to say, Virginia, you've been a great support for me in helping me get through some of these areas that I didn't know about. There's so much help. Like, you don't have to do this by yourself. People like Virginia know what they're doing, and we can make it simple.
That's right. And that's why it's also wonderful to have what I would call the mastermind effect, where there are groups of people like we have experienced in Alina's mastermind who are absolutely there for each other to support, uplift, and encourage each other. So yes, a very positive, powerful experience for all of us. Now, let's give them another tease about what they're going to receive when, and I'm going to say when they purchase the book, because boy, I can't imagine anyone not wanting to purchase the book when we show them how easy it is to get. So let me bring this up. It is your gift that you're actually providing when they purchase the book. Can you tell them a little bit about the 7 kinds of inner critic and how to transform yours?
Yes. I'm so proud of this. This is an absolutely beautiful download of that will help you identify which inner critics you have, how they work within you, what their impact on your life is, and then how to transform them. And this is just a really powerful thing. There are different kinds of inner critics. For example, who knew there were 7, right? There might even be more, but there are ones like the conformist. It makes you fit into your family, it makes you afraid to step out, like Anita Morjani almost died. I mean, it's an incredible story. people almost die because they can't step out of a limitation that they have. Or the taskmaster, the one that drives you and drives you and drives you, and you're never done and you've never done enough. And the perfectionist who says it could be better, make it better, and nothing ever gets done. Anyway, it's very, very helpful. I'm hoping that you'll take a look at it, find yours, and make a small change. And you can master this. And I'll also be there to help you if you want.
Yeah. I think this is fascinating, first of all, that there's at least 7 types of inner critics. Yeah. I heard a couple of those that seemed pretty familiar to me in the past. I worked through a lot of them. But that idea of the perfectionist, and therefore nothing ever gets done, to me is a very important one. Yeah, because I've come to the conclusion that version 1 is better than version none, and that we all just need to step out there and get started. And so I have learned, with a lot of attention to that interperfectionist, that it needs to kind of go on the back burner so I can get something out there. So.
Absolutely. There's no one out there who cares as much about our stuff who's going to judge it the way we do.
Right.
So if we stop judging it, it's a gift. It's something to offer. And we're not so critical of other people's stuff, are we?
No, never. Mm-mm. Never. And so I think it's just a really good point to remind people that you are good enough. Get out your gifts, and you are going to change someone's lives. But here's another way to think of it, Ahulani. If you just keep trying to be a perfectionist, as an example, or feel it's not good enough, you are actually withholding and depriving people of what could be an amazing shift and transformation for them. So you really are, when you get out of trying to be perfect all the time, put your ego on the back burner and just do something, give something of yourself, you are now offering something of value to someone else. So help keep that in perspective, I guess, is the point.
Yes, and that reminds me that one of the biggest tips in marketing and in getting your program out, or whatever it is that you're doing in your business, is to put your mind on the people you want to serve. That's where the juice is. That's where your love is. That opens your heart again, not on yourself and what will they think of me and all that blah-de-blah. Just remember the people that need you. Remember the people and why you're doing this in the first place. They don't know what you know. They don't know what you know. Yeah. Even if you're in 5th grade and they're in 4th grade, they don't know what you know. And you are a gift. You are an absolute gift.
Yeah. Put your mind on the people that you want to serve. That's a fabulous tip. Well, Ahulani, let's just give people a little bit of your perspective on why they should go out and grab this book. I'm bringing the image up for everyone to see. It's called Teach Your Expertise by Alina Vincent and 20 other very powerful co-authors, including Ahulani. You can get it today on Amazon.com for just 99 cents. Ahulani, tell them why not to pass this up. Make sure they get it.
Oh my gosh, there will be so much in there for you, no matter who you are, where you think you are in the spectrum of all of this. These people's stories, all of our stories, are so amazing. They're things from people who've had really established businesses to people that didn't know what they were going to do. Every single person has a powerful story. They have tips for you. They have exercises. There are gifts in there. Some of their best work is available to you as a download gift. I think that there is absolutely no reason whatsoever just to pass this up.
I would agree. You can't really pass it up for 99 cents. Come on, you guys. Just make it a resource and an inspirational opportunity to really understand what people have gone through in order to grow their business and do it now using an online course that they've created. So, Ahulani, I want to thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your experience here today. I know people will really be thrilled to read about your story and learn more about what you've been doing all these years, because I know you've wrapped that up into the chapter. So thank you so much for being here. And thank you, all of the viewers as well, for taking the time to watch this with us. And I hope that if you get value from it, you'll help spread the word and let other people know what's going on around Teach Your Expertise. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you all on the next Inspirational Entrepreneurs interview.
Thanks,
Bye-bye now.
Virginia. Bye.